Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about Tattooed Chef, ticker symbol TTCF, and the reasons why I like it. So let's get into it. So why Tattooed Chef? I have three reasons. Reason number one is Flav City and good product reviews on Instagram. So for Flav City is a YouTube channel that I personally like to watch. The channel talks about healthy foods and how to search for different products in the grocery store by reading their ingredients labels. So he teaches you how to search for stuff in there that's good and bad. And in short, the Flav City channel or the host, Bobby, he approved this organic riced cauliflower stir fry. So if you want to check out the link to that, it's in the description below. You can check it out at the 11-minute 55-second mark to the 12-minute 45-second mark. And the thing is, he actually approved this item. And why is that so important? Well, he only approves items that he thinks are personally healthy for you. And there's a lot of stuff that maybe you yourself would think is healthy, but it actually isn't. And why would that be? Because of, well, mostly oils. He talks about how there's some cruddy oils in the company's ingredients list and how it can be highly inflammatory and just bad for your health. For this one in particular, all of the ingredients are pretty clean, so he actually recommends them. And after he recommends the product, not all the time, but there's times when he recommends it and they would actually sell out after he talks about them. So that's pretty important. If the company can get out more products that are Flav City or Bobby approved, I think they have a really good chance of doing extremely well in the future. And one quick note, not all of their products have clean ingredients, so not all of their products are at the same status of this stir fry right here. But the thing is, they can go from concept to having the food on the shelves in 3 months. So that's potential for fast improvement. What does that mean? That means that if, for example, maybe Bobby from Flav City looks at one of their other products that's maybe not up to par as their stir fry, and he says, oh, they need to get rid of this, this, and this in their ingredients list, and then it would be Bobby approved, and then he could promote it to their customers. If they see that, and then they're able to, and they want to remove those ingredients from their products, they can do that. They can do their thing in 3 months' time, and then after that 3 months' time, they can have a new, better, improved product that would be Flav City or Bobby approved on that shelf, all the stores for people to get within that 3 month period. So that's really important. And also on Instagram, they have really good reviews on Instagram. You can see here, one person said, "Oh my God, I need to make this." Another person said, "Had this for lunch today, and it's yummy. My favorite, so delicious. Your acai bowl is amazing." Stuff like that. So things like that are really good. And also, let's keep going. Number two, good analyst day webcast and room for expansion for future products, not podcasts. So, what is their Analyst Day webcast? Well, their Analyst Day webcast, that's pretty much a presentation that the company throws together for investors. And they talk about the Tattooed Chef brand, their company, how their company has been doing, what their company is doing, what the company plans to do in the future to grow their business and improve profits and just turn out really good products. So let's get into it. So for their presentation, they started off with the history. Here you can see in 2015, the company is actually, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. I think that's Itella International. But anyway, they started off in 2015 and they had 12.9. Here, 12.9 is the net sales in millions of dollars, so $12.9 million in net sales. They expanded that to 32.5 when they launched their Tattooed Chef brand, and then over in 2020 they had $148 million in net sales. So a quick overview of the company. Tattooed Chef, they don't just make Tattooed Chef brand frozen foods. They also make foods for specific grocery stores as well through their Itella, Itella part. So for example, if there's a store like Trader Joe's, maybe Trader Joe's has something like, I don't know, spaghetti sauce or maybe some noodles that they're selling that is branded as Trader Joe's. This company could make that product for them, put that Trader Joe's brand on the product and then sell it for them. So that's one way that they get revenue. Another way that they get revenue is through their Tattooed Chef brand, which they launched back in 2017. And this is what I think will be the main driving force behind the company's growth in the future years to come. And why is that? Why do I think that Tattooed Chef is going to be like really good for the company and increase their profits in the years to come? Well, that's because in 2019, here you can see that they released 12 new SKUs. Now, what are SKUs? SKUs is just a fancy way of saying products. So, Tattooed Chef, they had 12 products in 2019. And then in 2020, they increased that to 38 products. So they went from 12 products to 38 products in a year, which is pretty good. And also, in addition to that, they had a 5-year CAGR of 63%. Now you may be wondering, what is CAGR? What does that mean? Well, CAGR means compound annual growth rate. Compound annual growth rate of 63%. Well, what does compound annual growth rate mean? So that means that for the past 5 years, from 2015 to 2020, you can see that their initial sales in millions of dollars was 12.9 million. So what they did was they took that 12.9 million and then they multiplied that by 1.635 times, one time per year. So 12.9 times 1.63 times 1.63 times 1.63 times 1.63 times 1.63 5 times, and then after that 5 times, in the end they got 148 million in net sales. So that's just a fancy way, like a mathematical way of showing that their revenue increased at this rate exponentially over the last 5 years, which is really good. You always want, if you can, you want exponential growth rate versus linear growth rate because it's faster in a shorter amount of time. But anyway, let's keep going. Also, in their presentation, you can see that from Q1 to Q3 in 2019 to Q1 to Q3 in 2020, that's like the first 3/4 of the year for 2019 and the first 3/4 of the year for 2020, their year-over-year sales, their sales from 2019 compared to 2020, that increased 640% from 9.5 million to 60.7 million. And that's just from the Tattooed Chef brand alone, with, really important here, no investment in marketing and brands. So without any commercials or advertising or stuff like that, just through word of mouth and having their products on the shelves, they increased their sales by 640%, which is that's a lot. That's insane, especially with no marketing. And also, in addition to that, they have $90 million in cash on their balance sheet, and they can use that to reinvest in the company for strategic M&A. So what is M&A? That's mergers and acquisitions, which is just a fancy way of saying they can buy new companies, other companies, to expand their own company. And also, they doubled capacity in 2020 and they plan to double again this year in 2021. So, for example, this isn't their actual numbers, just to illustrate it to you guys simply. Let's say they started off with maybe one factory in the past, and then in 2020 they doubled it, so one factory becomes 2 factories, and then after that again they're going to double that again in 2021 this year, so they're going to go from 2 factories to 4 factories, so they're increasing their capacity exponentially, which is really good. Next, they can cover their liabilities easily. So you can see here from their 10Q, their quarterly report on their balance sheet, as of September 30th, 2020, their total liabilities is about 18 million. So they have about 18 million in liabilities, which is kind of like their bills to pay. So they have $18 million in bills, and at the time they only had 37,000, little over 37,000 in cash. But as of December 2020, which is when the presentation was made, they have now 90 million plus in cash. So this now becomes 90 million, and assuming that their bills or their liabilities stay the same, they should be able to pay that off easily with a lot of cash to spare for that M&A that they were talking about here. Also, next, for their sales, you can see they had 148, and they plan to expand that. They have significant opportunity for growth. They plan to expand that to 300 million in 2022, 500 million in 2023. And right now, they're at 148 million. That's the same as they said back here, 148 million. So how do they plan to do that? Well, right now they're here. In the future, they plan to increase their SKUs or their products to 200 plus, and they also plan to expand into the grocery aisle. Now, what do they mean by expand into the grocery aisle? Well, they mean right now they only have frozen food products. In their presentation, they were talking about how they plan to expand into desserts and also into stuff that's non-frozen food. So I'm just making stuff up right now, but for example, they could get into something like, I don't know, maybe crackers, or something like spaghetti sauce, or something like salsa, or something like noodles. I don't know. The possibilities is just there's a ton of possibilities, but they don't plan to just stick to frozen foods alone. That, and also they plan to expand internationally. Right now they just got a contract with Costco in Mexico, and they're already selling stuff in Costco the US, but their new contract is for Costco Mexico, so they can get their products out to Mexico as well. And also I believe they have some of their products out in Europe too at the moment, so that's doing really good for them. But they also plan to expand more internationally as well. And also for the company, they have, and I need the next slide. Yeah. Also for the company, they started off with these products in 2017, only two. Then they expanded it to this many in 2018. So more products 2018, even more products 2019, all here. Even more products 2020, 38 products. 2021, they plan to increase that to 62 products. And then in the future, one more time, they plan to have 200 plus in the future. So that's a really good rate of expansion. And the reason why that they're able to do this so fast is because they can go from innovation to the market in as little as 3 months. So that's because they are vertically integrated. So what do they mean vertically integrated? That means that they do everything themselves. So they do the innovation themselves. They come up with the ideas themselves. Then they design the product themselves. They plant the plants themselves. They grow the plants themselves. They manufacture it themselves. They do it all themselves so that they can do it more efficiently. They can do it faster than their competition, which is why they're able to get stuff out in as little as 3 months from just the idea in their head. So that's going to give them a huge competitive advantage when it comes to their competitors in the frozen food market space. And also, Tattooed Chef, they plan to do marketing for 2021. As I mentioned before, in 2020, they had zero marketing, and with that zero marketing, they increased revenue by 640%. So, if they increased revenue by 640% without marketing before that in 2020 and previous years, just imagine what they could do with the marketing. That's going to be crazy in my opinion, just crazy. But yeah, that's their plans for 2021. And next, they also launched their website on December 26th, 2020. So that's just a few months ago. That's just a few months ago. And on their website, that means that you can order stuff online via their website. That's e-commerce. And they also have a clear demand for that because they increased their email list by 250%. So I think that this could do really well for them in the future, especially with stuff like COVID going on. So people can just order it online and have that delivered to their doorstep and have instead of having to go to the grocery stores. So that's good. And also, for the company before, they only had their products in stores like Costco, Walmart, and Sam's Club. And if you check out the video that I linked in the description for Flav City, you can see that he's doing the review in Costco. So that was before. So after, post transaction, they expanded their reach to all these stores here. There's a better list of it on the next slide here. So in the last 60 days, since this was done in December 2020, so last 60 days from like October 2020 to December 2020, they got contracts with all of these different grocery stores here. So stuff like Albertsons, Safeway, 7-Eleven, Whole Foods, Publix, Target. They weren't in this before. So after this contracts, they will be in these stores selling their products, and this means that they will have significant new business for 2021, which is really good for their company and their revenue as well. So let's compare their 2020 to the future and also 2019. You can see here points of distribution increased by 155%. So that's from 2019 to 2020. 2020, their total stores was a little over 4,272, and 23,000 points of distribution. With those contracts with these companies and more, they plan to expand the stores that they're selling their products in to more than double. So that's 10,000 stores with more than double the points of distribution, 65,000, which is huge. That's just a lot. And also, let's look at their revenue. So revenue, the blue is for 2020, the gray is for 2019. So here you can see for Q1 to Q3, 2019 is less than 2020, so the revenue as a company is going up. This here you see Q4E, that E means expected, since when they did the presentation, Q4 wasn't completely finished, so this is just their best guess at revenues for 2020. This 2019 should be accurate though, but still they plan to do more revenue for Q4 in 2020. So that's for their company as a whole, and for their tattooed branded sales in particular, just the Tattooed Chef brand, those are also doing really well for the company. Here you can see they only made 1.7 million in Q1 2019 versus 17.6 million Q1 2020. Same for the rest of the quarters, as you can see here. So the main thing to take away is that their revenues for the company and also for the tattooed brand itself, it's increasing in 2020 as compared to 2019, which is the gray. And also, for the presentation, you might be asking yourself, oh, they have all these plans to expand, they have plans to do this, do that. Everything sounds great, the plan sounds great, but can they actually do it? Well, let's look at the CEO and President Sam Glutty. Sam Glutty has been in the industry for 35 years, and he has been doing operational and investor roles within the seafood, vegetable, salsa, grilled chicken, and also organic food space. So for 35 years, that's longer than I've been alive, he's been doing this. So he obviously knows what he's doing. And not only that, Sam Glutty has a lot of skin in the game. So for that, you can see that the CEO and his family, they own 50% of the shares outstanding. So that's over 32 million shares of Tattooed Chef. So if you own 50% of the shares, you have a good incentive to make the company do well and also to increase that share price, because you'll benefit as well. And not only that, Tattooed Chef has warrants under the ticker TTCFW. And what are warrants? Warrants are kind of like options. So for example, you can see that the Tattooed Chef, it's trading at 23.42 for one share. If you have a warrant for that same company, the Tattooed Chef, if you have the warrant, that warrant is exercisable at $11.50. So that means that you can pay $11.50 for this stock that is trading at $23.42 for a quick profit. You can about make a 100% increase on your investment right there. And the thing is, they could only do this, they could only exercise it if the share price trades at $18 or more than $18 for 20 out of 30 trading days. And if you look at the chart here, this presentation was done in December 2020. This is for the past month, so January and February 2021. You can see that they're well above that $18 mark. They're actually above the $23 mark for the past month. So they can already generate this $230 million in cash for their company if they want to. So that means that in addition to this, where do they have it? In addition to this $90 million in cash that they have on their balance sheet, they can add on that $230 million from those warrants. So they would have a total cash of what over $300 million on their cash for their balance sheet, which is really good. And yeah, I think that's it for the presentation. So that's reason number two. And then also, why Tattooed Chef? So that was number two. Number three, next Beyond Meat market cap. So if you guys don't know what Beyond Meat is, there's something similar to Tattooed Chef, but they focus more on meat alternatives. So they do stuff like veggie burgers and veggie dogs. So I personally think that in the next maybe 10 to 15 years, Tattooed Chef could be as big, if not bigger, than the Beyond Meat company. So let's take a look at the Beyond Meat company really quick. Beyond Meat, they have a market cap of $10.99 billion, so roughly $11 billion market cap. If you compare that with Tattooed Chef, the Tattooed Chef market cap, it's a little under 1.7 billion right here. So that means that if Tattooed Chef was able to execute everything, well, if they were to grow their business to the size of Beyond Meat and more, they could be getting at least a 654% ROI over the next 10 years. So that means that over the next, I'm just guessing, maybe 5, 10, 15 years, this this share price could increase. This would increase by 654% in order to reach the same level that Beyond Meat is at. I'm guessing maybe next 10, 15 years, because it's not like it's going to be overnight. This stuff takes time. But if they can do things well, if they can get stuff out that have really clean ingredients, I think that they can do even better than this. So that's what my thoughts are anyway. So yeah, quick recap: why Tattooed Chef? 3 reasons. They have Flav City. Flav City backed up their stir fry product. They have good reviews on Instagram. They had that analyst website cast with a lot of good info, a lot of room for expansion, a lot of room for future products. Looks like they have a really good future ahead of them, and also, I think that they could reach, or if not reach, maybe do better than Beyond Meat in the future. So yeah, those are the 3 reasons why. And final notes in the description below. If you check that, you'll see I'll have links to the Flav City video, so you can check that out. Flav City video for their product review. Also slides from the presentation. If you'll see here, like stuff like this, I got this from their investor relations page from their Analyst Day webcast. So you can check that out as well if you want. And also their financial statements. Financial statements here are stuff like I mentioned it at one page. Stuff like this stuff here. If you want to check that out, their balance sheets for September 2020. You can take a look at that. And also, I think I have one more thing. Let me see. Yeah, also the portfolio spreadsheet. So if you want to check out the portfolio that I'm making for this YouTube channel, along with any other past portfolios that I've made in the past, you can check that out. All these links are in the description below, so just check those out if you want. And I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or comments, or if you have a suggestion for a future video, just leave it in the comment below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.